The Adventure of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Long Man Simplified English Series. Read by Sirinthip Pengprasittipong. Chapter 4. Tom is ill. Monday morning found Tom Sawyer miserable. Monday morning away found him so, because it began another week's slow suffering in school. Tom lay in bed thinking. He wished that he was ill. Then he could stay away from school. He knew that he could detect signs of Tommy's age, and began to increase them with considerable. But they soon grew faint and died away. He considered future. Suddenly he discovered something. One of his upper teeth was loose. This was lucky. He was about gone, when it occurred to him that if he says so his aunt would pour it out, and that would hurt. Then he remembered hearing the doctor speak about a parent who had spent 2 or 3 weeks in bed and who had nearly lost a figure through bruise poisoning. So the boy actually drew his soul, tail from under the sheet, and hid it up for inspection. Then he began groaning loudly, but she slept on, unconscious. Tom groaned louder, and fancied that he began to feel pain in the shoulder. There was no resource from Sis. By this time, Tom was breathing heavily with his effort. He had a rest, and then swelled himself up and produced one admirable groan after another. Sis slept on. Tom was annoyed. He called, "Sis, sit!" and shook him. This worked well, and Tom began to groan again. Sis yawned, stirred, and then began to stare at Tom. Tom went on groaning. "Tom, I say, Tom!" said Sis. There was no reply. "Here, Tom, Tom! What's the matter, Tom?" Sis shook him and looked in his face. "Actually, oh, don't Sis, don't shake me." Tom moaned. "Why? What's the matter, Tom? I must call the answer." "No, never mind. I'll be over soon." "Perhaps don't call anybody." "But I must." "Don't go so. Tom, it's awful. How long have you been like this?" "How? Oh, don't shake me. Sis, you'll kill me." "Tom, why didn't you wake me sooner?" "Oh, Tom, don't. It makes me feel queer to hear you." "What's the matter, Tom? I forgive you everything, Sis. Gone, everything you ever done to me. When I'm dead. Oh, Tom, you aren't dying, are you?" "Don't, Tom." "Oh, don't perhaps." "I forgive everybody, Sis." "Groan, tell them so." and "Sis, give me my window frame and my cat with one eye to that new girl who has come to town, and tell her." But Sis had snatched up his coat and gone. So where was Tom's imagination working that he was really suffering now? His scorns had quite a genius tone. Sis flew downstairs. "Oh, Aunt Polly, come! Tom's dying!" he cried. "Dying? Yes, don't wait. Come quickly. Rabbit! I don't believe it." But she rushed upstairs in spite of her disbelief, with Sis and Mary at her heels, and her face grew white too, and her lips trembled. When she reached the bed, she gasped out, "Tom, what's the matter with you?" "Oh, Auntie, my! What's the matter with you? What is the matter with you, child?" "Oh, Uncle, my big toe dead!" The old lady sank down into a chair, and laughed a little, then cried a little. Then these both together. This helped her to recover, and she said, "Tom, what a shock you did give me!" "No, stop that nonsense and get out of bed." The groans, creaks, and the pain was sneezed from the toe. The boy felt a little foolish, and he said, "Aunt Polly, I did seem to be dead, and it hurt so that I did not feel the pain in my tooth at all." "Your tooth? What's the matter with your tooth?" "One of them is loose, and it's a cheese. Awfully. There, there! Don't begin that scolding again. Open your mouth." "Well, your tooth is loose, but you are not going to die of that. Mary, get me a silk, third and bread knot, cool from the kitchen. Please, Uncle, don't pour it out. It doesn't hurt anymore. Please, Uncle, I don't want to stay away from school." "Oh, you don't you?" So all this howling was because you do just manage to stay away from school and go fishing. Tom, I love you so, and you seem to try every way you can to break my old heart with your trick." By this time the instruments were ready. The old lady made one end of the silk twist fast to Tom's tooth, and tied the other to the bedpost. Then she set the burning coal, and steadily thrust it almost in the boy's face. The tooth hung from the bedpost now. But offspring have their reward. As Tom was going to school after breakfast, he was the envy of every boy he met, because he kept in his upper row of teeth enabled him to speak in a new and admirable way. Soon afterwards, Tom met the young outcast of the village, Huckleberry Finn, the son of the town drunkard. Huckleberry was hated and dreaded by all the matter of the town, because he was alcoholic, ill-bred and bad, and because all their children all made him delighted in his formidable society and wished they dared to be like him. Like the rest of the respectable boys, Tom envied Huckleberry his gay life of freedom, and had been given strict orders not to play with him. So he played with him every time he got a chance. Huckleberry was avoided like a squirrel. He came and went of his own free will. He slept on doorstep in fine weather, and in empty barrel in wet. He did not have to go to school or to class, or call anyone master, or obey anybody. He could go fishing or swimming when and where he chose, and stay as long as it suited him. Nobody forbade him to fight. He could sit up as late as he pleased. He was always the first boy to walk barefoot in the spring and the last to wear shoes again in the autumn. He never had to wash or put on clean shoes. He could swear wonderfully, in a word. That boy has everything that helps to make delightfully. So do every respectable boy in St. Petersburg. "Hello, Huckleberry, what's it that you have got?" asked Tom. "Hello, this cat. Let me see it. Hark! How stiff it is! What are these cat good for? Hark! For clearing wood. But how do you chew them? Why, you take the cats about midnight to a gateward, where somebody that's what we has been brought. When it's midnight, a devil will come, or perhaps 2 or 3. But you can see them. You can only hear something like the voice, or perhaps hear them talking. When they are talking, that weak follow away. You throw your cats after them and it say, devil follow body, cat follow devil. What follow cat? I have finished with you. That will show anywhere. It sounds all right. Have you ever tried? No, but all Mother Hawkeye told me. Well, that's good enough, because they say she is a witch. Hark! When are you going to try the cat? Tonight, I believe. They all come after Howard Williams tonight. But he was buried on Saturday. Hark! Didn't they get him on Saturday night? Why, how you talk! How could they charm work before midnight? And then it's Sunday. Devil don't chief about much on Sunday, as far as I know. I never do of that. That is so. Will you let me go with you? Of course, if you are not afraid. Afraid? Not slightly. Will you meow like a cat? Yes. And you meow back if you get a chance. The last time you kept me meowing outside the house till all hands began throwing things at me and saying, "Curse the cat!" So I threw a brick through his window. But don't tell. I couldn't meow that night because Uncle was watching me. But I will meow this time. The boys separated. When Tom reaches the little school, he marches boldly in as if he has come as fast as he could. The teacher was hooting. Amidst the hum of study, the interruption roused him. Thomas Sawyer. Tom knew that when his name was pronounced in full, it meant trouble. So, come here. Now, why are you late again? Are you sure? Tom was about to lie, when he saw two long tails of yellow hair hanging down from a head that he recognized, and by that head was the only accent on the girl side of the school. He instantly said, "I stopped to talk with Huckleberry Finn." The teacher stared at him as if he could not believe it all. The hum of study ceased. The pupils wondered whether this boy has gone mad. The teacher says, You did what?" "I stopped to walk with Huckleberry Finn." The boy was very quiet, distant, and could not be misunderstood. "Tom Sawyer, this is the most astounding confession I have ever listened to. You deserve a severe punishment. Take off your coat." The stick rose and fell until the teacher's arm was tied. Then the order followed. "Now, sir, go on sit with the girls, and let it be warning to you." When all the pupils laughed, Tom seemed to take armchairs. But in reality, that look was caused by his worship of the unknown angel and by his amazement as he laughed. He sat down upon the end of the bench, and the girl proudly moved away from him. Tom sat still and seemed to study his book. Soon the author didn't cease to pay any attention to him, and the exhumed school murmured rose upon the air once more. Presently the boy began to steal glances at the girl. She observed him put a face at him, and turned the back of her head up to him for a minute. When she cautiously looked round again, he was drawing something at the back of his book, hitting his words with his left hand. For some time the girl refused to noise, but at last the hesitantly whispered, "Let me see it." Tom uncovered a weak drawing of a house with a short swirl of smoke coming from the chimney. Then he added a man, like a mask, in the front yard. The girl said, "I wish I could draw it, I say," whispered Tom. "I ought you." "Oh, with you? When?" "At dinner time." "Good. This is a promise. What is your name?" "Becky, teacher." "What is your?" "Oh, I know. It's Thomas Sawyer." "That is the name they use when they beat me." "I'm Tom when I'm good. Call me Tom, will you?" "Yes." Just at this moment a figure and Tom caught on his arm and raised him to his feet. He was led across the schoolroom and sat down in his own seat, amid the lacquer of the old school. Then the teacher stood over him during a few awful moments and finally moved away to his chair without saying a word. But although Tom Burnett, his heart was sinking.